SADEV's position, which represents the views of the South-South, is that Nigeria needs to be restructured to make it more efficient and to enhance our unity. They believe in one Nigeria, but based on equity and fairness. And they are asking for true fiscal federalism, where every part of the country will generate resources and support the center with it, and where we devolve powers to the various states as the federating unit of the country. Well, Dixon's concern was that among South-South leaders, there's too much acrimony, and that politicians persecute each other, and that they even go as far as bringing election disputes to affect post-election relationships and keep malice as a consequence, and that it's retarding the South-South progress. And I share those views. I think that we need to learn from other parts of the country where politicians and leaders do not quarrel openly and do not quarrel for too long, and where elders intervene to ameliorate feuds between their sons. And that those leaders who are in government or who are in position must know that they are still from a particular place, and they must respect their elders and traditional rulers, so that when they have difficulties, these people can intervene to solve them. But where you are made or you have an appointment and you believe you're bigger than everybody else in the place, including your fathers, then you find that disputes are difficult to resolve. So my advice to politicians is that we need to understand that the South-South region is very underdeveloped. Our youths are mostly unemployed. They're yearning for jobs. They're very dynamic. They're very creative. So if leaders begin to fight among themselves and deprive them of development, at some point, the mixture of unemployment and a vibrant population will lead to a combustion. So we must avoid this by ensuring that leaders try to work together in spite of political platforms. I have many friends across political divides. I have some of them in ABGA, I have in PDP, I have in APC. I think politics must not be a do or die affair. It must not draw permanent lines of enmity between brothers and between friends. So I share Dixon's concern, and I call on our leaders and elders, national rulers, to play a more active part in solving the problems that appear to exist between their sons, who are leaders of the country or the region. And that we need to also set a better example for the youth, an example of cooperation amongst leaders, an example of amity and concord amongst leaders. Well, first of all, corruption has many dimensions. One dimension is when people who are in government and have a budget connive with others to steal monies. That's corruption. It is also when people offer gratification to people in government, or those in government decide that if you don't pay this, I won't do this for you. That's corruption. But the worst form is the abuse of power, where those who are in government pervert the instruments of state and use them to persecute personal agenda, either to fight their enemies or perceived opponents. That is the worst form of corruption, and we must check that, because that corruption degrades the state. It impacts on the very essence of the state. People must not use state instrumentality to fight personal battles. We must maintain the integrity of institutions like the police, the army, etc. We must keep them out of politics and let them do their duties to secure our country, to fight corruption and to fight criminality. But we should not, because we're in power, use those organs to persecute our enemies, because it undermines the nature, the very essence of the war against corruption. Well, people should follow their passion. I am a good businessman. If I had remained in business, I'd have been a multi-billionaire by now. But I had a passion for service, and that passion has cost me a lot in my business. For me, it's a sacrifice I've made for Nigeria. And people should always think about posterity. Think about what I'm doing, how would I be viewed in a few years from now? If I'm no longer here, how would I be remembered by those who will be here? And people must think about the masses are suffering in Nigeria, mostly needlessly because Nigeria is a rich country. All we need to do is to deploy our resources transparently to projects that will enhance their welfare and to job creation, health, infrastructure, power, employment, etc. And it can be a better country than it is now. People will feel comfortable, people feel good to be Nigerians. They will carry their passports with pride. We need to have leaders who will have empathy for the masses, because if you have empathy, that is the starting point to do well. Once you empathize with somebody, you try to enhance their welfare. But if you have no empathy for people, then you shouldn't go into politics.